Today I'm going to share with you several different methods for installing wide plank hardwood flooring. Not only do wide planks have fewer nails, but they also are more susceptible to movement than narrower boards. Adhesive is required for wide plank installation in one way or the other. It's important you use the proper adhesive that still allows the wood to move while holding it solidly to the subfloor. We recommend Tight Bond and Bona products. It is very important you don't use a construction adhesive like PL Premium. It is much too rigid and won't let the wood naturally move. The first installation method is a full trowel glue installation. A full glue and nail installation is likely best for wide plank flooring on a wood-based subfloor. Basically, you're going to spread the adhesive out using the proper trowel, just like you would if it was going on a concrete subfloor. Then you'll nail it like a standard nail down installation. This method is great because not only do you have full coverage of adhesive making it very solidly bound to the subfloor, the adhesive also acts as a moisture barrier, so you don't have to worry as much about new home construction moisture in the basement. It is not a method for do-it-yourselfers. It's something that you really need to do every day and get used to it because it's very messy. You'll notice in the video I drag the hose all through the adhesive. I also step in it. So it's very important to clean the adhesive off the surface of the flooring when and if you do get it on there. But all in all, it's a great method. It's a lot more challenging, a lot more labor, a lot more costly. You get a very good finished product. The Bona single bead installation method is relatively straightforward. All you're doing is running a strip of adhesive 1 inch from the tongue of the previous run. Bona recommends this for planks 4 to 6 inches wide. This method will add extra holding power, and it also doesn't add too much to the installation. All you're doing is, adding one little strip of glue, so it's not much more work than just a standard nail down installation. One downside of this is that you're not going to have a moisture barrier below other than the area where the adhesive is. So it might not be ideal for new home construction. It's probably better suited for an environment that is well seasoned in a remodel or an existing home. We don't really have a name for this next method, so we'll just call it the Squiggle method. Basically what you're doing is just running a bead of adhesive every 3 or 4 inches perpendicular to your run of flooring. It's a good method. It gives you lots of adhesive coverage, and it's a very easy install. You're going to want to just do one row at a time so it isn't messy. It'll hold very well, but it doesn't have that full moisture retarder. So not ideal for new home construction where you really want to avoid that basement moisture from coming up. But overall, it'll be a really good hold or make for a really solid floor and is relatively easy. The nail and glue method with underlay is our most popular installation method. Basically, all you're doing is running the underlay perpendicular to the hardwood flooring and leaving a 1 inch gap in between. The underlays we recommend are All Globe Silicone Vapor Shield and Aquabar. The underlay itself is actually going to be your spacer, so you'll run the adhesive every 36 inches between the rolls of underlay. So in our wide plank flooring, you're generally going to hit each board a few times, so that extra adhesive will really add to the floor being solid. And the underlay gives you a moisture retarder, so for new home construction, it will slow down the moisture from the basement coming up. You'll want to just use enough adhesive for one row at a time. And the method using the 36-inch full roll of underlay is generally going to be for boards 5 to 7 inches wide. Any wider, we would recommend cutting the underlay in half and actually doing it every 18 inches. For planks 8 inches and wider, we recommend nailing and gluing the floor with the underlay, but instead of the full width of the underlay, we would do every 18 inches. So basically what you're going to do is cut the underlay in half, normally just on a chop saw, and then run that out perpendicular to the hardwood flooring, leaving a 1-inch gap where you're going to put your adhesive. And in this case, that'll be every 18 inches versus every 36 inches. It'll hold really well. You'll also have the moisture barrier, and you're going to have twice as much adhesive as the previous method where you're only going every 3 feet.